Hi, welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today is day 31 of 30 days of sketches. Today's sketch is a bonus sketch and it was created by Sarah's Pretty Paper. It is such a fun double page sketch. I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to get it done. I am prepping for a trip out of town and I really need to pack, but I have a little bit of time, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on this. And I have chosen Jen Hadfield the Avenue paper collection, and I have some of the embellishments, plus I pulled these 3 pieces of ephemera out of my ephemera box from her This Is Family collection. It's kind of the same color scheme, so I'll set those aside and see if I need them. I'm going to be doing photos of our house that we used to own in Virginia. We sold it in 2017, but we had just renovated the house and we got military orders to move and we had to sell. So renovations, of course, we didn't get to enjoy them, but it's all okay. The house was a fun place to make memories at the time, and I'm going to go ahead and scrapbook the renovations today. My photos are going to be a little bit larger because my photos are printed 3x4-ish. Some of them are a little smaller because yours truly cut crooked, but I'm going to trim them all down to be about the same size, and they're all going to be around 3x4. So I'm going to speed you up. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prep the strips for the top and bottom of my 2-page layout. Now the sketch, she may have intended for you to mat each background sheet, but I'm just going to cut a 1/4 inch strip of pattern paper from this 6x8 sheet of paper. And I'm going to cut more than I need because sometimes when I cut, I'm getting just the color and not the polka dots, and I do want some of the polka dots to show up on the little borders. So I think I end up cutting 10 instead of the 8 that I need, but it's fine. So once I get these cut, I will glue those down onto the top and bottom of each of my wood grain pattern papers. Now I'm going to get an idea of where my photos are going to end up on each side of the layout. I'm going to mark the ends of each set of photos so that I know where they're going to end, because I'm going to do some stenciling with some ink on the background papers. I think I have decided that this Vicky Bouton stencil from Sweet Rush, or maybe I think it's Sweet Rush, not Color Study, is my absolute favorite stencil this month. I have used it so many times so far this year, and I just love everything that I've done with it. And this is just simple stenciling with a Pink Fresh Studio ink. The name of the ink, in case you missed it, was Persimmon, and it matches the color in this pattern paper collection quite well, so that is why I chose it. So I have to tell you a kind of a funny. If you have been watching my videos at all over the last couple of months, you know that my husband did a short deployment and he's now home again. I picked him up on the 16th. Well, the other day I had been working really hard in my scrapbook room trying to record a bunch of videos and make sure that I had content going up so that I could rest over the weekend. And he came into the bathroom to take a shower, and I had my stencils drying in the bathroom sink. And so he comes into my office and he's like, "Hey, I'd like to take a shower. Can I dry off your stencils and bring them to you?" I just laughed because it was just so funny. Poor guy, scrapbooking has taken over his life, including his bathroom. So I don't know if you noticed, but one set of my photos is not landscape orientation. They are in portrait, and that is the set that I'm going to use the 2 rows instead of the 3 rows from the sketch, because obviously they're just not going to fit any other way. And so I still wanted to make sure I used these photos. I didn't use all of the photos that I had taken of the house for this layout, but I used enough that you get the idea of what kind of work that we did. I also have some photos of the house in progress that I'll scrapbook later, but for now I wanted to get this story told. Here is where I'm trimming down the photos to get them to be the right size. I did figure out why some of them were not printed the same size. It's because I used 2 different printers. I have an Epson 400, a Picturemate Epson 400, however you say that, and I also have an HP photo printer. My HP is my bigger printer, and I typically only use that to print homeschool or home things, but sometimes, like right now when I'm out of ink, I will use it to print photos, and it does not, the software I use does not print 3x4s. It prints some off the wall size, and so I always have to trim them. So that's part of the reason why they're not the same size. So I am matting the photos onto the black text paper first, and then I will mat the whole thing on the floral paper. I'm only going to do this on camera for one side of the layout. I'm not going to make you watch me do this for both sides. Otherwise this video would be 45 minutes long. So let's get this done and we'll start building a layout. Kristen would be super proud of me because I am setting all of my scraps from these photo mats aside to make a card. I could potentially make a layout with it. I have enough because I end up using 2 sheets of each of these pattern papers to mat all the photos. So maybe I could make a quilt block type layout too if I chose. So off camera, I used the same stencil and my Marigold Pink Fresh Studio ink to ink the stenciling on the tags. I am only using 2 tags on this layout because my photos are larger. There's just not enough room to get 4. And I do want to put some pretty flowers on this layout, so I am just going to use 2 tags. I also tied a black and white ribbon into bows for my tags to top them. Now, if you follow me, you know that today I also have a video debuting called Iron Crafters, and this month's item that we're using in the Iron Crafters challenge is ribbon, twine, or trim. And so this is kind of a nod to that other video that does go live today. So if you want to watch me use a whole bunch of ribbon and trim in another video, go ahead and check that one out as well. So I forgot to leave my tag loose so I could tuck this on. It's not a big deal. I just tuck that piece of ephemera back behind the tag and just kind of pull it around. Now I'm having a little bit of trouble with those smaller puffy letters, getting them to line up. I will have to use some quick dry glue to adhere them down because they're not going to stay on that tag for very long. I actually had to clear my work table completely because on the other end I keep supplies, and I had to put those on the floor because there's just not enough space to do a 2-page layout with that stuff up there. I don't know if anybody else has that trouble recording a 2-page video, but space is definitely of a premium when you're recording a 2-page layout, and I wanted to make sure that you could see both pages side by side as I was working. So I've already journaled on my other tag and put a date and everything on, and so I'm just going to add a little bit of stickers onto it for some embellishment. Again, there's a ton of photos on this layout. I don't have a whole lot of room for a lot of embellishment, so I'm just tucking pieces of ephemera, putting stickers here and there. It's just not going to be a whole lot of stuff on this layout just because I don't want to clutter it up too much. Now, I do tend to like to take stickers, like that was a coffee cup with flowers in it, and I tucked it under the photo so all you can see are the flowers, and then I put a glue dot, or not a glue dot, a foam dot up underneath it to pop it up a little bit. I love doing that. It helps me to use stickers that I wouldn't otherwise get used up very well, and it just gives me a way to use up stickers that aren't my thing. Like that little scooter thing has flowers coming out the tailpipe. I would more than likely tear those flowers off and stick them somewhere, but I'm not using them on this layout. I don't know if you also noticed that I tend to use my hands to stick stickers on when I'm working with them, and I think I do that with a set of flowers here in a minute, but I also stuck one of those houses on my hand. I don't know if you could see it or not. Now I layered up those 3 houses, and now I'm going to put a little phrase on some foam tape, and I'm going to pop it up and tuck some more flowers behind it. So I'm using my embossing bag to make the back of that phrase not sticky because I didn't get quite enough foam tape underneath it, and I don't want the edges to kind of stick down on my houses and look funky. So I'm going to stick some little tiny flowers from this sticker sheet in behind that phrase and just add a little bit more color to that embellishment cluster. I'm going to create one more small embellishment cluster down on the lower right hand corner of the left page, and this is where I use my hand. You can see right there that I have stuck stickers on my hand so that I have my fingers free to put glue dots underneath them. It's just one of those weird things that I have always done. So I just stick those down there, and I'm going to layer up some flowers on that corner. Like I said, I'm not putting a whole lot of embellishments on this page. I want the photos to still stand out, but I do want a little bit of color as well. So I want to thank you for stopping by my channel today. I thank you for sticking with me through 30 days of sketches. This is day 31. We made it with a bonus sketch. Make sure you check that playlist in my description box below my video so that you can see what all of the other creators are doing this month. If you liked my video, click that thumbs up button to let YouTube know that you liked it. You have a wonderful weekend. Bye.